I'm Alan Partridge. This is TTT, Top Teen Tunes. My first song is Ride a White Swan by T-Rex. It brings back possibly my happiest memory. I was 17 and it was a long hot summer. This song was playing in a branch of John Menzies, where I'd gone to treat myself to a mint cracknel and a copy of Auto Trader as a reward for having passed my driving test. Interestingly, the song inspired me not to ride a white swan, that would just be cruel, but to ride a white Austin Maxi, which I just purchased for £60 from the trader. I say white, it was actually some lunatic had actually hand-painted it with matte white emulsion. He'd used a house brush, and you can actually see the strokes. I don't mean the punk combo. You can see the white stripes. Again, I don't mean Jack and Meg. I remember when I first bought it, I opened the boot, and inside there was a Freeman Hardy and Willis shoebox, and inside there was just a lot of access receipts and a photograph of a boy with a red setter and an unused nappy, which I used about a year later to wipe the flies off the headlamps just outside Bath. But anyway, on with the song, and every time I hear it, I think of a matte white Austin Maxi in fair to good condition. And conversely, whenever I see an Austin Maxi, it doesn't have to be white, as long as it's in reasonable condition, I think of Ride a White Swan by T-Rex. If it's not in reasonable condition, I just drive on and forget about it. I've turned the corner, it's out of my mind. So, Ride a White Swan by T-Rex.
You were a bird, fly it on out like an eagle in a sunbeam, ride it on out like you were a bird.
I'm Alan Partridge, and this is Top Teen Tunes. My next choice is Blockbuster, which reminds me of the day I met Brian Connolly of The Suite at the London Boat Show. Fascinating man. I remember telling him that I loved the raw energy of Blockbuster, but that I felt Papa Joe was just lazy. But he was looking at inflatable rafts and just didn't want to be bothered. Although he did sign a bottle of Deck Wipe. He wasn't so big after the 70s. I mean, career-wise, physically he was massive. In fact, a friend of mine went to see Sweet live in 1990, and he asked for his money back. In the end, the venue just gave him tickets for Richard Digance. But a marvellous song, Blockbuster, and one that I've often thought you could use in a campaign for Blockbuster Video. Does anyone know the way? There's got to be a way to Blockbuster! Yeah, it's on Church Lane between Boots and Alliance and Leicester. Dum 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 da 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 da. It makes sense. Blockbuster by The Suite. I'm Alan Partridge. We're back with Top Teen Tunes. This is one of the greats, When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman by Dr. Hook, who, as far as I know, is not a qualified GP. I was 15 years old, and my father had taken us out for lunch at the Pig and Whistle in Shoeberryness. And whilst this song was playing in the background, I was waiting for my oxtail soup. Dad started talking about his ultimate dream. He had a vision of a card which one day people would carry in their wallet. And it would be like a credit card, but instead of running up debts, the money would be debited directly from your current account. And people laughed at the time, dismissed it as the crazy dreams of a 50-year-old, or looked at him in an odd way and changed the subject. But, Dad, if you're watching up there, I don't know, perhaps they've got a TV in heaven, although I very much doubt if they've got VH1, but probably lots of religious channels. But, Dad, if you're watching, they did it, Dad. They did it and they called it Switch. Dr. Hook. I'm Alan Partridge, Top Teen Tunes. My next choice is Billy, Don't Be a Hero by Paper Lace, which gave me my first taste of history and an interest in the American Civil War, and actually led to me collecting die-cast metal figures of Confederate soldiers. I wasn't very good with the detail on the faces, and quite often I would end up painting the whole head and hat flesh-coloured. It looked like they had hat-shaped heads. Yeah, quite a good idea for a film. The men with the hat-shaped heads. They could be fighting... The first time I heard this song, I was actually in the garden on Whitsun weekend, sitting on a varnished sector of tree trunk, which were very popular in those days, as stools. And I listened to the whole song, but by the end I had tears in my eyes. And ironically, I was eating off a paper plate. I had some chipsticks and a beef paste sandwich. And my father came across from the other side of the garden where he'd been smoothing out some concrete with my Uncle Peter. And he said, "Alan, why are you crying?" And I said, "I think I may have just heard one of the greatest songs ever written, Dad. This amazing story of Billy and Mary, and how at the end Mary receives a letter from Billy on the very same day she finds out he's died. And I heard she threw the letter away." And my dad just burst out laughing. Uncle Peter had gone inside by then, so Billy Don't Be a Hero by Paper Lace.
I heard she threw the letter away.
I'm Alan Partridge. You're listening to TTT, Top Teen Tunes. My next song is Changes by David Bowie, which is a very moving song because, like several singers, Bowie was clearly struggling with some sort of speech impediment. And it's fascinating, I think, to note that Mr. Bowie failed to overcome his speech impediment, and yet people still like this song. Whereas Gary Gates did overcome his speech impediment, yet people don't like him or his music. It's weird how things turn out. Anyway, it was a bit of fun. I was actually going to choose 5 songs featuring singers with speech impediments, such as My Generation, Oh Bloody Oh Bloody. But then I was asked... I was actually asked not to mention this, but the director of programming has a lisp, and I don't mean slight. Put it this way: when I agreed to do this campaign, he was very kind, but he said, "Thank you so much for doing this." It's very pronounced, but it's a testament to the man's good judgment that he's chosen to remain behind the scenes. I applaud him for that. Anyway, this is Changes by David Bowie, whose real name, of course, is David Borchester. Later shortened that to Bowie, Borchester Bowie. Changes.